Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to part 2 of the Sacramento Kings rebuild. Today we are finally hoping to be in contender mode with this team. If you missed part 1 of the rebuild, make sure you go check it out. While you're there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like both parts of this rebuild so far that have been posted. We're supposed to be in contender mode now. As the first 2 years we're in rebuilding mode, and we got some players. If you haven't seen part 1, I'm about to spoil some of the guys that we got. 3, 2, 1. We have Clint Capella and Chris Middleton now. So close to getting Devin Booker last episode. So we have De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Chris Middleton, and then we have Marvin Bagley and Clint Capella. A very solid starting five with J.J. Redick, Bogdanovich, some good guys coming off the bench as well. But you see right now we're just hovering at around 500 to start the year. And this is already obviously better than we've been doing in the first 2 years, but I expected a little bit more. I didn't expect to be the best team in the league, especially just hopping in with these two guys, just coming to the team and just meshing all together right away. But I definitely expected to be better than 14-14, 15-14. Now you see I got this interesting trade: Blake Griffin and Mo Bamba for De'Aaron Fox and Chris Middleton. I declined it mainly because of De'Aaron Fox. I like that I got Chris Middleton. He's a very good player, but I just think De'Aaron Fox, the sky's the limit for him, as Capella is out 8 to 10 weeks with an injury. I need him to stay healthy, otherwise the acquisition is literally nothing at all. A lot of trades, though, for Chris Middleton that I'm getting throughout the episode, you'll see. And he's just apparently really wanted around the league, and I guess I'm pretty glad that I got him. But we're going to continue simming here, trying to get halfway through the year. We're 24-18, 24-19, trying to get Clint Capella back healthy, just trying to stay up in the playoff contention without him, but losing a few games here. I was getting kind of frustrated. Didn't quite sure if I needed to make a move before the deadline, because I think this year we definitely need to make the playoffs. As you see, I get a very, very interesting trade here. Gordon Hayward for Chris Middleton. And I thought about it very hard, but if I'm going to only get Gordon Hayward for 1 year, he only has that 1 year, 32 mil left on his deal. I didn't think that was a very good trade if I have Chris Middleton locked down for the next 4 years in the future. I think if the contracts were reversed, I'm definitely accepting that contract. But at this point, if I only get 1 more year with Gordon Hayward, and right now I'm 28 and 24, I'm not quite sure that's the best pickup for me. So I did decline that, and I'm actually definitely okay with it. I can definitely move on and not think that I regretted that trade whatsoever. No matter what happens, I believe I made the right choice. But we keep going along here, trying to we're hovering around that 8 seed, 7 seed, 9 seed spot here in the West, 31-25, trying to get our way up as Clint Capella is finally back at the All-Star break, trying to come back from the All-Star break, and he tore his left hand ligament. He's out another 6 to 8 weeks, and he won't probably be back until if we make the playoffs, but I probably need him to make a playoff push. I'm going to make one at all. We're losing a few games here, 4-game losing streak. Then we beat OKC. We're 33-31, 3 games back of the 8 seed. We have got to pick it up, and that's exactly what we start to do. We win 3 games in a row. Lose to the Magic, who I had a chance to make a pretty big trade with. Beat the Clippers. Lose to OKC. Beat the Pacers. We're there at the 8 seed. We beat the Hawks. A lot of injuries. Going to have to turn this injury slider down for the next rebuild. We lose to the Raptors, and we only have a handful of games left. So you lose to the Pelicans. Lose to the Bucks. Barely hanging on to that 8 seed. We are right now 40-38. 4 games to go. We play the Lakers, and we beat them by 25. We play the Mavericks next, and we beat them by 8. Now we have the Spurs, who's right above us in the standings. Still haven't clinched the spot. You'll see the standings right here. We are in 8th, but the Nuggets a game back. These are the last 2 teams fighting for the 8th seed right here. Against the Spurs, we do get a W and clinch the playoffs. So we're going to get playoff basketball, something that I'm very excited for. We did actually win our last 2 games. Russ gets MVP, almost averaged another triple-double, just very close. Rookie of the Year, Burt Manning. Nikola Mirotic, 6th Man of the Year. Marvin Bagley, Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 22, 13, and 5 with 2 blocks and a steal. This guy is an absolute beast. Look at that stat line. That is unreal from a third-year player. He is so good, and he's only going to get better. As you see, he gets all NBA first team with LeBron, Cat, Russ, and I didn't quite see the other one, but Luka Doncic is also a beast in this game. Him and Marvin Bagley, I'm just going to tell you, if you're doing a rebuild with these rosters, one of those two guys would be a great stepping stone for you guys to start with. They are both very solid. We lose game 1 to Golden State, but we win game 2 with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins, their usual squad on the other side, but Bagley goes off. We have a good game. Now, game 3, we do lose. We're down 2-1 in the series. We get blown out that game, actually. Bogdanovich, our leading scorer. Now, game 4, we get the win and even the series up at 2. So things are getting interesting now. We do have a chance here as the 8 seed to upset the Warriors as the 1 seed. Game 5, we get the win and we're up 3-2, and we're actually heading to Sacramento for a game 6, trying to seal it. Bagley has another monster game, a game 6 against the Warriors, and we advance. We upset the Warriors. We beat them in 6. We win by 1, 95-94, and we knock off Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. KD was hurt. I'm not quite sure if he's hurt all series. I'm not even quite sure if they're 100% and all healthy, but doesn't matter. We advance as Marvin Bagley has a pinched nerve in his back, though, 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm playing him through it. We win game 1. Doncic, we have to face him all series. Like I said, he's a beast, so this is going to be difficult. We do win game 2, though, and go up 2-0 in this series. Could this be where we just get this rebuild complete? Can we win the title in this year? The Mavericks get game 3 in Sacramento. Makes it 2-1. Doncic, a monster game. They get game 4, so we take each other's games on the road. It is tied 2-2 now, heading into game 5, and we get the win in game 5. So we're going to head to a game 6. We need this game just to move on. I'm trying to avoid a game 7, a game 6 at home. Chris Middleton is hurt, apparently out for the season, but I'm going to leave him in there and see how he performs. We win game 6 and head to the Western Conference Finals against the 2nd seed, the OKC Thunder. We have a chance here. They actually have a stacked squad, though, this year. As you see, the Bucks 61-21 lose to the 76ers. And we're heading into the conference finals now. We're going to get Sim game 1. OKC wins it. You'll see their team, Parker, Westbrook. They have CJ McCollum. They just have such a stacked team. Paul George, Brooke Lopez, just so many good players. They have a very solid squad. And if this is the year they're going to win it, this would probably be the year. Any year they're going to win it, this would be the years. But we need game 4 and we lose it. We're down 3-1. Oh, I got to come back in this series. We're going to go with the Simcast. Anytime it's an elimination game for me, I do usually simulate the Simcast so I can hop in if I need to. This is on Superstar, so even me hopping in isn't always a guarantee, but the team plays very well in this first simulation. We end up winning by 25 points. Middleton scores 20 and leaves the way. Marvin Bagley almost has a triple-double. One of our couple of top 2 guys, I just said that in the worst way possible, are both injured, so they're not playing up to their full capabilities. As you see, the Magic advance to the title game. Here we are. We're getting absolutely dominated in game 6, and I couldn't even make the comeback. We were down by 22, I believe, when I jumped in. I got it down to 8, but just not enough time, and the Sacramento Kings are going to knock down the Western Conference Finals. But if there is one thing I could take from this, this was not the year I was expecting to win the championship. I was expecting to make a run and make it to the playoffs. I expected to have a better record and not be the 8th seed, but we made exactly the run I thought we could make in the playoffs in the Western Conference. I actually thought we might get to Western Conference Finals and then lose to the Warriors, who I thought still had a year or 2 left of being very good, as the Magic win. And remember when I said I had that chance to trade for Blake Griffin and Mo Bamba? Well, here's Blake Griffin winning Finals MVP. And that's all right. I still am not too worried about it. I didn't want to take on both those players and lose some very good players. I do end up finding David Yorger, if that's how you say it. Trying to sign Pop, but you'll see how this offseason goes. We do not end up getting Pop. We do get Nate McMullen as our new head coach, but like I was saying, I kind of expected to be at the Western Conference Finals. I thought the Warriors still had another year or 2 before KD was gone, and maybe Steph or Clay or somebody was also leaving as well, and they weren't going to be as stacked. So I thought this year was maybe not the year, but a year where we really progressed quite a bit as we signed Nate McMillan here, a much better coach. Hopefully he helps us. We have our options here now. We do give Marvin Bagley a 2-year team option, De'Aaron Fox a 1-year team option, Okogie a 2-year team option, Harry Giles a team option. We're going to let Justin Jackson and Forrest walk in the free agency. and we are going to see what the free agents are this year. If we can just add anybody else to this team, don't have a whole lot of room to go with, so any of the top guys really aren't guys we are looking for, because we do have Chris Middleton, Clint Capella now, but Buddy Hield is a big one. I gave him a qualifying offer, but he's a restricted free agent, so someone can offer him and have the choice to match it or not. But how restricted I am in salary cap is going to be hard to match any deal that I do have. So you see, I will renounce the rights to quite a few people. Bogdanovich, I do renounce the rights to, because I'm also not trying to pay a whole lot for him, not going to lie. Try to open up some room to just sign anybody that I really needed. So I do get a cap hold here on Buddy Hield. I just hold on to him. I do get Fred VanVleet. I get Joe Harrison. I get Jay Crowder. 3 key signings that I think are huge, huge bench players for us to have in the foreseeable future. But Buddy Hield's about to sign a contract with the Cavs. But look at that contract. That is just 2 years, $85 million for 2 years. He's getting paid ridiculous money, and there's absolutely no way that I can even match that. I don't have the room, and I don't want to match that either. That is way too much money for Buddy Hield. He does have a big potential, but that kind of potential for that kind of contract, 2 years for that much money, is absolutely insane. So I do just end up signing Alan Crabb and Justin Patton, as well as Royce O'Neal, to finish out the roster. So you do see the roster we have here. Marvin Bagley. Clint Capella goes down to an 86 because of the injuries he dealt with. Middleton stays at an 85. De'Aaron Fox goes up to an 84, which is huge. But then just a bunch of solid role players, I think. Crabb, Crowder, Harris, Okogie goes up to 76 overall, only 21 years of age. So I think I have a very solid roster to really compete this year. I think I have a very good balance at the top of superstars with Marvin Bagley, De'Aaron Fox, Chris Middleton, Clint Capella. But then I think I have a solid bench as well. Nobody too crazy off the bench, but just having 79, 78, 77, 77, 77, 76, all those guys coming off the bench is just key for your squad. You have to have those bench guys that are able to do the dirty work. Can't just rely on just a few top guys to carry the team all the way through. You're going to have to get help from minutes on the bench, and that's exactly what we did. So I'm excited for this year. Losing Buddy Hield absolutely sucks, but there's literally nothing I could do about that. I was never going to offer him that much money. Was hoping just to get the qualifying offer. Nobody wanted to extend his contract, risking me to match it. But the Cavs take a chance on him, and I mean, I hope he succeeds. He's a great player, and I mean, it just sucks that he got paid, and I can't blame him. Clint Capella goes down again, a broken right ankle, 6 to 8 weeks. That's tough. He's been injured all the time when we have him, and I mean, maybe he'll come up big for us. But we start out this year 3-10, 3-11. After all those changes I made, I felt like I had a fantastic squad, finally starting to win some games as we lose to the Cavs playing Buddy Hield. And just thought I had a solid squad going in the year. We started out 3-11, but bouncing back a little bit. We are 8-13 now, and I have to sign De'Aaron Fox to an extension that he happily, I'm sure, enjoys that contract. But Chris Middleton he's not been playing up to his contract. 3 years, $105 million still left on his contract, and I did not like the way he was performing, and we aren't performing very well either. So I was looking for a trade for him. DeMar DeRozan was interesting, but then I got on this one: Wendell Carter Jr. and Zach LaVine for Chris Middleton and Gabriel Murphy. I show you guys his stats so far. He's not been playing up to his contract at all. He's 15 points per game this year and 12.5 per game last year, making $33 million a year. I'm just not sure if that's really the route I want from him, and I do agree with this trade, getting Wendell Carter. That's going to put Wendell Carter, he's already an 84 at my power forward, and then I have another solid shooting guard now to kind of replace Buddy Hield and Zach LaVine, and then I'm going to move Marvin Bagley to the small forward, I think, because I know he can play everywhere, and his jump shot has really progressed in this. So before you can say he can't shoot, in this rebuild, he has developed a jump shot, and it is up there very high. I had an offer right there of Draymond Green for Clint Capella, but I'm not taking that. I would have way too much of an abundance at power forward at that point. But I'm actually definitely okay with trading Chris Middleton. Averaging 15 points, making $33 million a year on this team, probably being my second option on offense. I think that's what I have him for, my second scoring preference. That's just not cutting it, and that's just way too much money. And getting Wendell Carter Jr., who's still on his rookie contract, so 84 overall player who's not making a lot of money. Zach LaVine's making quite a bit of money, but a 78 overall, just athletic freak coming off the bench as a shooting guard that can come up and light it up off the bench. I think that was a great acquisition. I'm okay with losing Chris Middleton and moving on from there. So we are starting to play better basketball now that we did get rid of Chris Middleton. We're getting back up to 500. We started off the year awful, and Chris Middleton, I mean, I can't get over 12.5 points when I played in that first year. I never even saw that. Never even thought about trading him. Then things just weren't going good to start this year. Now we're working our way back up to 500 with the squad we have now. We're going to sign Harry Giles, who just continues to progress. Sucks he has those knee injuries at the beginning of his career, but I'm done with the trade deadline. This is the squad that we have going into the rest of the season and hopefully the playoffs. Zach LaVine getting hurt quite a bit, but as long as he's healthy for the playoffs, if we make it that far, I'm definitely happy. We were moving up to about the 5 and 6 seed range, but then we started losing a couple games, drop out of the playoff picture, go down to 500. 35 and 34 now. Try to pick it back up. 35 and 35. Win the few games here now. Trying to go on a little streak. Get into the playoffs. Hopefully not as an 8 seed this time because I really don't want to play the Warriors again in the first round. I got maybe a fluke win there because they still have the same core that they have always had. And now we're starting to win some games here. 38 and 39, though. Still not cutting it, but we're right there at the 9 seed. Lose another game. Win one, though. 39 and 40. Playing the Pelicans. Win it. 40 and 40. Got to win a couple games here as you'll see the playoff picture right now. Oklahoma City Thunder really blew this one. After being NBA champions last year, not quite sure who they lost, but they might not make the playoffs this year, and they actually will not. We do clinch a playoff spot, and then we do win our last 2 games of the year as well, so we end up with the 7 seed after I advance here. Steph Curry gets MVP. Wendell Carter Jr. is 6th man of the year. I guess I played him off the bench, even though I know in the playoffs that I did put Bagley at the 3 and Wendell Carter Jr. at the 4. And then Miles Turner here gets Defense Player of the Year. But I'm looking forward to this team. Marvin Bagley, All-NBA first team right there. I'm looking forward to playing with this team in the playoffs. This is all I'm going to show you before we get to this playoff run. So I hope you guys were okay with my acquisitions all series long. I hope you guys are looking forward to this playoff series. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. As always, I'm out. Peace.